Alright, hello, and welcome to another Looney video. Today I'll be looking at the best trilogy of cartoons, potentially ever. Unlike in movies and video games, where trilogies are very much commonplace, in cartoons designed for the theatres, like the Looney Tunes, they are rarer than a Daffy Duck victory. This is simply because they were never intended to be watched outside of the cinema, so it was very unlikely that you would see every Looney Tunes short in the 1940s or 50s unless you literally lived in a cinema. So each short would generally be a standalone short, although of course most would follow similar themes. While a coyote would always be chasing after the Roadrunner, Sylvester would be hunting after Tweety, and Peppy would be stinking up the whole place. This was before the introduction of the television set, which would revolutionise how we consume our media. And nowadays, with streaming services and physical media, we can watch cartoons literally whenever and however we want. It's a surprise we can even get anything done at all. But there are a few series of trilogies within the Looney Tunes cartoons, one being the Cecil the Turtle Racing Trilogy, another is the Porky and Sylvester Spooky Trilogy, but the most famous, and for good reason, is what has become known as the Hunting Trilogy.
Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits.
Starting with Rabbit Fire in 1951, followed by Rabbit Seasoning in 1952, and lastly ending with Duck Rabbit Duck in 1953. All of them directed by Chuck Jones, and all of them exclusively starring Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Elmer. Well, along also with a sassy elephant in Rabbit Fire.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
Not only was each one released in consecutive years, each short also takes place in a sequence of seasons, starting in summer, before entering autumn, and ending in winter. Although weirdly it's always duck season. I have no idea how the hunting season actually works. I've never actually hunted in my life, nor do I really want to go hunting. But no wonder Daffy is constantly a disgruntled duck when it's permanently duck season.
Why, everybody knows it's really duck season. You're despicable.
These were made at the peak of both Looney Tunes' popularity, but also both Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, with Bugs Bunny being the latest big breakout star, his fame surpassing that of Daffy. These shorts originated from the thought that Daffy would be jealous of Bugsy's fame, so out of spite and revenge, he is determined to try and get Elmer to shoot the Wabbit. In each short it would always be Daffy who would instigate the fight. In Rabbit Fire there's many amazing scenes where Daffy is constantly outwitted and is befuddled when Elmer constantly shoots him, because of Bug's trickery and wordplay. It's an onslaught of fantastic writing, each gag timed and written perfectly. Not only was each short directed by Chuck Jones, but each one was written by Michael Maltese. This partnership was firing on all cylinders at this point, with both parties knowing exactly what worked well and what didn't. Which is why I do consider each of the Hunting Trilogy shorts to be among the best and most iconic cartoons of all time.
Take a peek up and see if he's still around. Righto. Is he still there? Still lurking about?
In Rabbit Seasoning we have the famous pronoun trouble scene, which in my opinion tops the similar scenes from Rabbit Fire. We also delve more into the fact that Daffy, despite constantly wanting Bugs to be shot, they are actually friends. I mean, we've all had bad friends, but Daffy has to take the biscuit. In Duck Rabbit Duck, they again top the previous gags with Daffy constantly tricked into exclaiming he is a certain animal, which of course would lead to Bugs holding up a corresponding sign with that animal now in hunting season. I am surprised they never tried to replicate the success of these shorts by pairing Bugs, Daffy and Sam together. Although of course Sam was more often used by Friz Freleng, and it was maybe hard to judge just how well received each short was. They weren't really seen as too important to the film studios, although I'm sure they must have gotten some feedback from the viewing audiences. Which characters were popular and in demand dictated which shorts would get made, and which characters would then fade into obscurity. So clearly they was doing something right for them to make 3 shorts with all of these 3 characters with very, very similar themes in each of them.
And you are a dirty skunk. I'm a dirty skunk? I'm a dirty skunk?
Thankfully, with more shorts being restored and released on physical media, it does allow for more generations to view them. If I was to ever suggest where to start if someone was thinking of getting into watching the Looney Tunes shorts, I'd probably recommend watching the Hunting Trilogy to start off with, rather than starting too far back, where the shorts are really for the die-hard animation and Looney Tunes fans. Of course, after the success of these shorts, Daffy and Bugs would go on to be paired up in multiple other shorts, although I'm not sure they ever managed to top the Hunting Trilogy shorts. However, Alibaba Bunny and Showbiz Bugs would be among my other favourite shorts with Bugs paired alongside Daffy.
Listen to that! They love me!
Unlike in other trilogies, it doesn't really make much difference what order you watch the shorts in. In fact, I originally watched Duck Rabbit Duck first, as it was on the Stark Raving Looney's VHS tape, which is one of 3 Looney Tunes VHS tapes I had as a child. Looking back, it had an amazing set of shorts from Water Water Everywhere to Birds Anonymous and Beep Beep. I would then have watched both Rabbit Fire and Rabbit Seasoning when I got the Golden Collection DVDs around the mid-2000s, which reignited my love for the Looney Tunes.
Quack, quack. Oh, that's his little game, is it? Shoot the duck! Shoot the duck!
But there we go. That was a little look at the famous Hunting Trilogy. Do you have a favourite from the trilogy? Personally, I do feel like Rabbit Fire, to me, has the most memorable and iconic gags. But it's like choosing my favourite chocolate bar. They are all bloomin' tasty, like a lovely roast duck. Well, of course, unless you're Elmer, who of course is revealed to be vegetarian in these shorts. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But for now, take care, and that's all, folks.
What's up, Dad?
I'm hunting wabbits. It's wabbit season.
Oh, Wabbit season, huh? Having any luck?
Well, no, as a matter of fact, I haven't even seen a wabbit yet.